Hello and welcome to your next episode of Cooking with Nichole. Tonight we're going to make French toast sticks. So this will be a great option for those breakfast types of things that you're looking for, or even a great kind of little indulgent treat. Or when I was growing up, we would have breakfast for supper on a couple of occasions. And so this would be a nice opportunity to just change up things every now and then and give you a different idea to have with your supper. So what we have here is 8 whole eggs in our food processor. And then we have 1 brick or 8 ounces of cream cheese, full fat of course. 1 stick or 8 tablespoons of butter, and then we're going to do a splash or about a teaspoon of some pure vanilla extract, about a teaspoon of some cinnamon, and then I did measure out about a tablespoon of monk fruit sweetener. You don't have to add the monk fruit sweetener if you don't want to. Sometimes folks feel that between the vanilla and the cinnamon that gives it enough flavor, enough sweetness. You don't necessarily need to have the sweetener, especially if you're going to use like a sugar-free pancake syrup or syrup to put on the top as a topper. So, but I did measure out 1 tablespoon of that monk fruit sweetener. I've already prepared our 9x11 baking dish with some spray olive oil on the bottom to keep this from sticking to the bottom of the pan. It's going to be important that we're able to cut them out of the pan in a good way in order so that they don't tear, so that we can later turn around and put them in a little butter in the frying pan, toast them up real nice, and boom, you've got your French toast sticks. So what we're going to start out with here is our 8 whole eggs, and to the food processor I'm going to add the softened cream cheese. Again, important that you lay the cream cheese out in advance so it's good and soft. It makes this whole process so much easier, and it prevents you from getting little clumps of cream cheese in the batter, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with at all. It'll bake out just fine. But if you're wanting to make sure that you're having lump-free batter, soften your cream cheese. I did the same thing with my stick of butter, or my 8 tablespoons of butter. I also laid this out for about a half hour of time just to soften up the butter again, so that this all blends nicely and you have a creamier texture to things. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of vanilla extract. No, not a tablespoon, I'm sorry, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, just to give it a nice vanilla flavor and add a little bit of sweet flavor to things, just like you would if you were having actual French toast. And then we're going to add some cinnamon. I'm not going to measure out the cinnamon. Everybody prefers their own kind of variety or amount of cinnamon, and so I'm just going to gauge it a little bit. Clearly I think that's going to be more than 1 teaspoon, but we're a cinnamon family in our family, cinnamon family, and so I just added a little extra, but you can certainly measure out your 1 teaspoon of cinnamon if you would like. And then our 1 tablespoon of monk fruit sweetener. You could use the granulated swerve if you would like. That would be an appropriate thing to use as well. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use the food processor. Now my Ninja is pretty loud, so we're gonna blend this and we'll bring you right back once it's all done. Right, so we've got our eggs and cream cheese and butter. Welcome back, everyone. So here is our bread for our French toast sticks, fresh out of the oven. It did bake almost the full 30 minutes, and as you can see, it's a very nice golden color. It did fluff up and poof up quite significantly when I first took it out of the oven or while it was baking, and it has now since collapsed. Don't worry about it, that's normal, that's what's supposed to happen. So now what we're gonna do is I let this cool for about 5 minutes, and now I'm going to cut it into our French toast sticks. Like I said, this recipe is going to make approximately 8 servings, and so you can do this a couple of ways depending on how you want to create your French toast sticks. You can cut this 1 time lengthwise and then 4 times across the center to create squares, and fry the squares then for your French toast sticks, or you can cut it lengthways and then cut it 16 times down the middle. So you're gonna end up with a total of 16 sticks. 2 sticks are going to be a serving size, and those 2 sticks are going to be about 272 calories, 1.4 grams of net carb, and 8 grams of protein. Now that is just the sticks. That does not count whether you would put sugar-free syrup on the top, like sugar-free Hungry Jack pancake syrup, the butter flavor, which 1/4 of a cup is approximately 4 grams of carbohydrate. Or if you purchase Chalk Zero maple flavor or vanilla flavor syrups, they are 1 tablespoon for 1 gram of carb, however you want to do that. Or if you really want to keep the carb factor minimal, you could always just use some whipped cream, and why not add a little berries on top if you want. But I'm gonna demonstrate how I plan to cut this, and then I'm gonna turn on my frying pan, and we're gonna fry a couple of the sticks for you just to demonstrate what it should look like. So I'm going to cut my bread lengthways. Make sure that you use a nice sharp paring knife is what I'm using. And I am then going to cut it into the 4 squares first. I just feel like that is going to make things more even when we're trying to create our 16 sticks. And I did get a little heavy on this end, so this side is going to be a little bigger. But now I'm going to cut these guys in half, and we will have our 16 French toast sticks. They're about 1 inch in diameter each. There we go. So now they're nice and cut. I'm going to turn on my frying pan and warm up the butter. You're going to warm up approximately 1 tablespoon of butter to fry the French toast sticks in. So we're going to let this melt down, and we'll transfer about 4 to 6 of the French toast sticks from the pan into the frying pan. And you're just gonna lightly fry them, or toast them, if you will, just like as if you were making French toast, until they're a nice golden brown on both sides. Put it on your plate, and for the full meal deal, you could always serve it with some breakfast sausage or some bacon if you'd like. We're having breakfast for supper tonight, and so I've got some bacon cooking in the microwave, or we'll be turning that on here shortly. I hope you enjoy this recipe. We'll have a picture ready for you at the end. This is going to be your great sweet deal for the day. Have a great evening.